ആവശ്യം നോക്കട്ടെ ഇതെങ്ങനെയാണെന്ന്. പിന്നെ ആരെങ്കിലും ഒരാൾക്ക് ഇവിടെ ഇരിക്കാൻ പറഞ്ഞു. ഇത് ലൈവ് ആയല്ലോ. അത് അങ്ങോട്ട് വെക്കണം. അതെങ്ങനെ ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ സെറ്റാണോ?
രാത്രി ഗൂഗിൾ മീറ്റ് വിട്ടേച്ച് പ്രൊസീഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ സുമി പറഞ്ഞു.
ഗൂഗിൾ മീറ്റ് ഓക്കെ.
No, I'd rather do this. I'd rather than my screen standing, but like she said, you need to get the camera and Mike.
Which camera am I facing? This one or this one? This one?
This one. Can you mute this?
It's dark. It's dark, but I can see.
Can you please mute the mic here?
Can I
Mute the
mute
mic.
the mic?
Oh.
Please maintain silence. We're live streaming.
Can you put up slightly more from screen? Yeah. അല്ല അവരാണ് നീക്കിയത്. Yeah. 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 That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That. Which is the one that is streaming? This one? This is streaming.
Good morning, everyone. Respected dignitaries, professors, representatives, and members of the audience. It is with great pleasure I welcome you all to this seminar organized by the Young Communicators Club, Olson's College Chapter. The Young Communicators Club is a student and youth wing of Public Relations Council of India, which is country's largest fraternity of public relations and corporate communication, with its presence in 38 Indian cities and towns. This is the first time we have had the opportunity to organize a seminar with live audience, and we're truly grateful for that. Social media, a powerful public relations tool that has been profoundly creating new opportunities for brands across the world. It has effectively created a strong bond between the companies and their consumers by building a transparent platform to express
Can
the
you turn off
needs
this
and
AC?
criticisms
Can
of
you
the
turn off
customers.
this AC?
Today, we have with
No, it's
us
okay,
Ms.
otherwise. It's
Anjali
okay.
Manoj, author and founder of the Red Right Center, to speak with us on the topic, using social media to build public and human relations from an admin perspective. Now let me welcome Ms. Ruma Suresh, member of Young Communicators Club, for the welcome address.
Good morning, everyone. Respected Principal Dr. Rashmi Prasad, Chief Guest Ms. Anjali Manoj, officials from PRCI, faculty, students from other YCC chapters, Head of the Department of English Dr. Sonia J. Nair, Faculty Coordinator Ms. Rajshri Amis, and others. A very good morning to one and all. Let me take this opportunity to welcome you all to this seminar organized by the Young Communicators Club of All Saints College, Trivandrum, on the topic using social media to build public relations and admin perspective. Let me welcome our beloved principal, Dr. Rashmi Prasad, our pillar of support to grace this occasion with her presence. I consider it my privilege to welcome our chief guest, Ms. Anjali Manoj, founder of the Read Write Center, the first place in Trivandrum to promote reading and quizzing skills in children. She is also a public speaking coach, and the author of the book, As with Zoom for Toddlers. You're all waiting for your valuable words. Welcome, ma'am. Let me also welcome Dr. T. Vinay Kumar, National President of PRCI, Mr. U.S. Kudi, National Secretary General PRCI, and Nagesh Ike, National Treasurer PRCI. I would also like to welcome Mr. Ram C. Menon, YCC Head of Kerala, for your valuable presence. Welcome, sirs. Let me now welcome Dr. Sonia J. Nair, the Head of Department of English, whose wholehearted support helped us throughout our endeavors. Also welcoming our beloved faculty coordinator, Ms. Rajshri Amis, whose guidance and support made this program happen. I also welcome all the faculty, students, and other officials present both online and offline platforms. This program will surely be beneficial to all of us, and it will definitely hold a special place in our hearts, as it is the first offline program conducted by All Saints College YCC chapter. Let me welcome you all once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruma. Now I call upon Ms. Nikita Suresh, member of Young Communicators Club, to invite the speaker.
Good morning, everyone. So, Ms. Anjali Manoj is a passionate educator, coach, journalist, and author. She is the founder of Read Write Center, which was the first place in Trivandrum to promote reading, public speaking, and quizzing skills in children. She's the author of the book Alphabet Soup, Food Toddlers. She's a broadcast journalist from Ancient College of Journalism, Chennai. She's a public speaking coach and does storytelling sessions for both children and adults. About 3.5 years ago, she started a Facebook group of women called her Trivandrum, though it was started as a group of women of the city, but now it has almost 15,000 members from all over the world. We welcome you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. I hope I'm audible to the ones in the back. Yes? Okay. Welcome to this session today. When I was invited for the session, I decided to ask my family, what do you think sounds interesting? How do I keep the interest of a group like this? What should I do to maintain the interest or make the children, the students feel happy at the end of a session? My younger daughter came up and said, Amma, talk for 5 minutes and give them a break for 45 minutes. They'll be very happy. Your teachers are worried now. That's not what I'm going to do. Unfortunately, we don't listen to what teenagers advise us. So, welcome to my session. I'm going to be talking on the topic using social media to build public and human relations, both equally important. When someone starts talking on a topic, I always say there are only two kinds of speakers in the world. Ones, those who are nervous, and the other kind are the ones who lie that they're not nervous. So I'm both right now. Um, what is social media? Before I start, let me say I prefer an interactive session. I'm usually standing, walking, using the stage. This is for the convenience of the camera. So I'm hoping you don't fall asleep. There's only one way I know for sure that you're not falling asleep. I'm sure all of you are familiar with the term like and share. Yes? Yes. Okay. So when I say like, I want you to say share. And the louder you say it, the more I know you're interested in what I'm going to say next. The softer it becomes, the quicker I'll wind up your program. So you can decide how long you want to keep it going. So can I hear like? Some of you had your breakfast today. Can we try that once more? Like? Brilliant. So, before I start, let me have a show of hands, please, on how many of you actually use social media or have social media accounts. Excellent. So, that's about all of you. Let me assure you, even the ones who think you're not using social media, at the end of this talk, you'll be aware that you're actually using social media and you're just not aware of it. Okay? Social media is a digital platform that is used to connect people, to bridge the gap between people, to bridge a gap between a business, an organization, and a person, or two different people. It is a digital platform using the internet. The internet is now being used worldwide by more than 59% of the population, which means more than majority is using the internet, of which the vast majority is also on social media. In 2014, an average user had about four personal accounts, four social media accounts on different platforms. In 2021, that has become more than 8 accounts per person. And of the lot, India accounts for the second largest social media usage. India accounts for the largest Facebook usage, and Indian users have an average of 8.7 personal and social accounts, which means, like I said, the likelihood of more than three-fourths of you having more than one social account is definitely a possibility. Social media and public relations. When you think of social media, you think of what are the things you think of? Give me some names. What is social media to you? What are the names that come to you when I say social media? Instagram. Yes, that's the word that tells me I'm outdated, because Facebook is apparently for the oldies. That's what my children tell me. But let me assure you that Facebook is still the most used social media platform in India. So either the oldies are getting on the internet more, or you all haven't registered for your own social media accounts. Instagram, yes. Anything else? WhatsApp, Facebook, yes. Twitter, Pinterest, Snapchat, plenty of it. How many of you were already aware that even YouTube qualifies as a social media? Okay. So the likelihood of all of you not using YouTube is minimal. And definitely the ones who are streaming it live are using it right now. So all of you are covered under that umbrella of social media. Now, social media and public relations. Public relations means interacting with the public in some form or the other. Earlier, public relations meant probably going to your next door neighbor and saying, "Did you see that sale there? They went there, they bought that, that's cheap." Or did you go to that store, they're having a discount there? Or did you know that school has suddenly opened up admissions? Public relations started like that. Now, digital media has taken over public relations. And as Forbes said in the Forbes magazine stated in 2021, PR is 90% more effective than advertising. Though that sounds unbelievable, I will tell you why. PR through digital platforms is of many different kinds. Okay, you can use PR to promote a business. If you are a business woman, an entrepreneur, you can use PR to promote yourself if that's what you want. If you're a celebrity or you're a social influencer, so public relations, promoting, promotion, giving the audience, giving the public what they would like to hear is essentially what PR is about. So all of you like? I was scared you fell asleep. So when you use PR in social media, when you use public relations in social media, there are many different things you need to look at. You need to look at one, most importantly, who your target audience is. Who are the people you are targeting? Like I said, if you are a celebrity or social influencer, you're targeting the whole population as general. Or if you are a woman entrepreneur, or even for the men watching YouTube streaming right now, if you're an entrepreneur and you want to sell something, you're targeting a particular group of people. Social media has different filters. And for any of you who still believe social media can be private, no. Social media is public, it's social. That's why it's called social media. So, no matter how private you make the settings, please be aware that there is a limit to the privacy you can hold. Okay? At the outset, as you are students, let me warn you, never put on social media what you wouldn't put up as a flyer or as a billboard or do on stage. Be aware that that is the visual effect that you get. Okay, just swiping, hiding, changing your settings to privacy does not ensure 100% privacy. No. But I don't mean to spook you. Social media is a tool, is something you should use wisely. It's like having fire. You jump into it, you will get burnt. You know that it's hot, you put your finger into it, you will get burnt. But you use it wisely and use it to cook something delicious, the end product is wonderful. So use that to your benefit. Use it to get what you want. The first and most important thing in social media and public relations is presence. Okay, you create a social media presence. That is, you create a presence on one or many platforms as you like. Like you said, there are so many platforms. So you create a presence on one or many platforms. You create an identity for yourself. Now, here's where social media gets tricky. Unlike the real world, where if you look at me, you know I'm a woman, you know I'm probably this age, you know I look this way. In social media, I could be an 80-year-old man, I could be an 18-year-old girl, I could be anything, I could be anybody. It's the identity I create for myself. Okay. So when you create a social media account for the purpose of a public relation or to promote your product or whatever it may be, make sure you create an identity that signifies that tells the audience that this is a person we'd like to believe in. You have to have credibility. They have to know that your reputation has some credibility. Okay, so you create a presence that has credibility, you create a presence that appeals. Once you're done creating your social media accounts, you have created a presence, you have created an identity, you start building on your reputation. You start building on your customer base, client base, or your audience, depending on whether it's a business or it's a social influencer. To build on your audience or your customer base, something very different from social media and real life is the instant relationships. Okay, relationships on social media can be formed or broken instantly. So when you create a relationship with a customer or with someone who's watching you on YouTube, who's following you on Facebook, viewing your snaps on Snapchat, you are actually creating a relationship between both of you. And that is done instantly, one, because one message and you respond. Whereas if that was in a real world, they'd actually have to walk up to you, call you, come meet you to ask you a question. In the virtual world, that's not necessary. Okay, it bridges gaps, brings spaces closer. The virtual world is a much smaller place than the real world. So you like? Not liking so much. I think I need to go faster then. Like? Yes, that's much better. So another important way social media uses public relations is Facebook groups. Okay? When they introduced me, they told you I was coach, I was author, I was writer, so many different things. But right now, the capacity I'm sitting here in is I am the single admin of a Facebook group called Her Trivandrum, which has about 15,000 members. Okay. So Facebook groups are a huge force to reckon with. They can make you, they can break you at equal speed. You can create three different kinds of Facebook groups. One is a public group where anyone can join and leave at will. Another is a closed group where you request to join, and only if the admin agrees do you get to join. And the third one is a secret group which will not show up on any search, which will not show up no matter how much you search for it unless you are a member of the group, which means you cannot join unless a member invites you. Okay, so Facebook groups can be used to market products, market yourself, sell something. Instagram accounts are, like most of you said, the most popular way of selling right now to the younger generation. By the time the story is up, the product is sold. The product reaches your home, there's a whole unboxing video, and then there are reels with all the fancy music, and you're happy, they're happy. What happens if you're unhappy? You send out a message immediately. A person with good public relations on social media will reply to your message within an hour or so. Okay. Usually, social media accounts will have business hours marked. That is, besides the night, they will have business hours during which they will reply to your queries, which would not be possible in the real world. If you received a product and you were not satisfied, you'd actually have to take it, go back to the store, show them why you're not satisfied, which takes so much longer. But in the virtual world, one photo, two videos, and they know what you're looking at, they know what your problem is, you know what their problem is. However, it is equally easy to be criticized and to get negativity. Okay. I walked into a restaurant and the manager didn't look at me. He didn't smile at me. I wonder why. I think he's very snooty. Some reason he's not smiling at me. I go home and give that restaurant a 1-star review. Okay. You come up to the page tomorrow and say, she gave a 1-star review. That must be a terrible restaurant. You don't know that I gave the 1-star review because he didn't smile at me. You assume that I did it because the food was bad or because something was wrong with the restaurant, right? So negativity can kill you instantly on social media, which requires active participation. Social media, unlike real life, cannot be, though it sounds weird, cannot be turned off at the switch of a button. Okay? You are liable, you are responsible to the people at the other end to answer their questions. Public relations, marketing, advertising on social media is something that can take you far by leaps and bounds. One, because there are lots of avenues where you don't have to pay for your advertising on social media. For example, my group, I do not collect money for advertisements. I do not collect money for anything. But when we talk about advertisements, women entrepreneurs advertise on my group without paying money. So you get free advertisement. You do not actually need to take out a newspaper or a TV ad. So that works much better in terms of economics, in terms of reach. If you were to place a newspaper ad or a TV ad, people in Trivandrum would see, people in India would see, but your chance of reaching somebody else in maybe America in the middle of the night who wants to buy dinner for her mother who stays in Punjab is not possible. But social media makes that possible. Okay, social media bridges time, space, distance, all of it. Social media gives you the ability to reach out to people far away, different time zones, different types of people. Social media is an equalizer. On social media, it doesn't matter to me how rich you are, how poor you are, how fat you are, how thin you are, how you talk, how you walk, how much you want to say, how little you want to say, it doesn't matter to me because social media equalizes. If there is a social media platform and you have access to it, you can say anything you want to say because everybody is equal there. So, social media forms a great equalizer among those who have voice and the voiceless. What do I mean by voiceless? Voiceless people who are not actually able to express, actually able to say what they want to say. Assuming you are a home entrepreneur who bakes cakes, you want to sell it. Okay, you can tell your next door neighbor, you can send it to maybe a friend or two, but putting it out on social media will actually give you a reach far wider than you could ever imagine. Okay, so social media used effectively is a great tool for public relations. Like, okay, so now that we have spoken about social media and public relations, I'm going to come to what is my home territory, social media and human relations. Okay, so if I need to tell you that, I need to tell you how I started this group. Long time ago, in a land far away, lived a princess. I can be a princess for the story, can't I? So one day, I decided I wanted to learn how to ice some cupcakes. Very simple. I didn't want to do anything fancy. I just wanted to ice cupcakes. So I got on Facebook, okay, and entered all the many groups I was members of and dashed away questions. Please tell me how to ice cupcakes. Is there anyone here who can teach me how to ice cupcakes? By maybe in an hour or so, my messenger or my inbox was flooded with requests of people who wanted to make friendship. Okay, anyone on my group knows that's what they call it, friendship. Can you please make friendship with me? Can you please be my friend? Are you awake now? Can we be friends? No, I'm sleeping. It's 12:30 in the night. Ding. Do you think we can take this friendship further? Can I meet you? No, I don't want to meet you. Maybe at middle of the morning. Ding. Why do you want to ice cakes? Come, let's meet each other and go out for a cup of coffee. Definitely not something what I'm looking for. I have good coffee right at home, or definitely not doing with it someone I don't know. Okay, so that spooked me. The number of friendship requests really scared me. One, I realized I had zero privacy because people in India, people in Trivandrum, people in the world knew I wanted to ice cupcakes. I didn't even tell my mom that, but people all over the world knew I wanted to ice cupcakes. So I decided to try and start something which would keep my privacy to a certain extent, which would give me some sort of safety, which is when I started the group called Her Trivandrum. That's about 3.5 years ago. When I started Her Trivandrum, like, okay, so now we're moving to human relations. And human relations is not about liking and sharing. Human relations is about love and comment. Okay, so when I say love, I want you to say comment. Love. Comment a little louder, please. Love. Brilliant. So when I started this group, I only added a few of my Facebook friends who were based in Trivandrum, my relatives or my friends who lived here, who lived in Trivandrum. And I thought, let's start a Facebook group for people who know where I can ice cupcakes because that was my intention. So I started with about 9 or 10 people. They added their friends and went to 90, 100, and they started adding. The only rule of my group was you had to be a woman. When I started, that was absolutely the only group rule. You have to be a woman belonging to Trivandrum. Then one of my members messaged me saying, why don't you open this out to the rest of the world? Why restrict yourself to Trivandrum? I said, who cares? I mean, who would want to see what's happening on my Facebook group? She said, no, my cousin, my aunt, my uncle, everyone who wants to, everyone I know, that neighbor, everyone wants to. Okay, go ahead. So people started adding other people from different places. And that's when my admin journey began. Okay, an admin for a Facebook group is like people on my Facebook group tease me by saying I'm like a principal. So something like that. Your principal is very sweet, I'm sure, but I'm not that kind. I have strict rules. I have strict rules. I didn't start with those rules. Okay. When I started the group, I didn't have those rules. As the group progressed, the rules became more, and the rules are strict. They are non-negotiable. One, we do not allow any form of negativity. No negative comments, no negative reviews, no negative posts. Two, we do not permit religion or politics. Okay, the great dividing factors, both are kept out of the group. So, as the group grew, slowly, I realized that there were a lot of talented, voiceless, these are the people I referred to in the beginning, voiceless people who were sitting at home who had talent, retired women, housewives, working women who didn't have time during the day, who didn't have access, who didn't have a platform, who actually were talented, could write amazingly well, but there was no one to read or no one to listen. So I started inviting people to send in posts. Okay, how many of you on Facebook? So I know no one. Okay, so I'm hoping by the end of the day this is going to change. Unlike an Instagram post, a Facebook post on a group has to be approved by the admin. Okay, so I'm basically the principal standing at the door saying, "Don't go in. I'm not letting you in." You I'm sure all of you have had these checks in school where they say, do you have your white shoes? Go in. No, did you wear that? Oh, your hair is not this way, go out. You have this, your uniform is not right, go in. Uniform wrong, out. So basically that's approximately what I do. I read the posts, I read all the posts, approve or decline. Okay, so as a group, when they post on my group, when someone posts on my group, they get close to, like I said, 15,000 people to actually read their post, to actually read what they have written. The platform is huge. They're able to reach out to people all over the world. I have women who are more than 80 who are very active and still writing. I have lots of youngsters above 18 who write. Every Saturday, we have a day where people post videos, dances, song, TikTok, comedy, whatever it may be. Now, as the group grew, the numbers grew and reached above 5,000. However, I was not aware that after 5,000, you can't change the name of the group. Okay, I can no longer change the name of my group. Love? Okay, thank you. That AC was nice, soothing, cold. I was wondering if you fell asleep. So as the group grew, I couldn't change the name of the group, which is why I still have her Trivandrum as a group. That's still the name. But the women in it are from all over the world. I have people who are not Indians, people who do not have never even heard of Kerala, let alone Trivandrum, who do not understand Malayalam. Okay. Along with that came the rule that you cannot have posts in Malayalam because there's no point unless everyone is able to understand. Now, there is a feature in Facebook groups that is what I feel is most essential to human relations. It's called the anonymous feature. Okay, let's assume you you're in a fix, or you have a really embarrassing problem, or you just want to know something but you don't want everyone to know you're asking. For example, I had a young mother come and tell me her son had just been diagnosed with ADHD and she was panicking. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know what this was. She was in a different state. She didn't have her parents. She didn't have her family. She didn't have anyone she could talk to. And she was literally panicking. So, what she did is write a post. I'm a mother of a child who's been diagnosed. Will somebody please tell me what to do? You met the doctor, you know your diagnosis. You're not looking for medical help, you're just looking for some support. So she sends me that post and I post it as an anonymous post, hashtag anonymous, which means nobody on that group except me knows the identity of the person who posted it. Okay. Within 1 to 2 hours of my posting that post, she had many mothers of ADHD children reach out to her, teachers, educators telling her how to handle it, doctors offering their support. It was amazing to see how my inbox was flooded with messages, numbers, and willing people who want to help. They just want to help. So, social media and human relations is all about empathy. On Instagram, you post today, I fell down, or I'm feeling a little blue today. I don't feel so well. Social media gives you the opportunity to have a friend who's sitting hundreds of miles away message you and ask, are you okay? What happened? Are you okay? Another thing that happens in our society, unfortunately, is mental health is a big taboo. Mental health issues are not spoken of freely. If I'm going through depression or I'm going through some mental health problem, me or my family members, it's not likely I walk up and say, I'm under depression, can you help me? No. Okay, first of all, people are shy, people are embarrassed, and unfortunately, they find it very difficult to seek help out in the open. So, posts on social media, anonymous posts on social media, help you write, I'm depressed. I would like someone to help me. Can you suggest a psychologist? Can you suggest a counselor? Or I'm a retired woman sitting at home all alone. I'm perfectly fine, but I'd like to know that somebody out there wants to know if I'm okay. She doesn't want help. She just wants some comfort, some empathy. And the minute a post goes up like that, there are so many messages that follow that I have had people come back to me and say it was wonderful. Human relations can also be, as most of you are aware, social media is a wonderful tool to search for lost members, lost friends. Recently, I had someone post about A friend who she studied with in Delhi more than 30 years ago, when she was 3 years old or 4 years old in kindergarten. Okay, and she hasn't seen that friend since. She doesn't have a picture. She just knows the friend's name. She knows nothing else about that friend. This place, study in that place. Within 3 weeks, we actually found the person she was talking about, a person she had been looking for so long. We actually managed to find that person. Somebody messaged her saying, I live in this part of Delhi. Then somebody else messaged her, can I drive by that way? Somebody else said, no, I had someone who sounds like that. And then someone else said, no, do you know her surname? She said, no. Do you have a picture? No. But they still actually managed to find a person. Love. Okay. So, social media for human relations is a powerful tool. Use your Instagram accounts, create Facebook accounts, get on the bandwagon. Trust me, it's not for oldies. The essential difference between a Facebook and an Instagram account is Facebook has a lot of written matter. And like my daughter said, finish in 5 minutes and then let us all go. Doesn't happen with Facebook. Whereas Instagram is more about pictures. But in relationships where you're looking for companionship, you're looking for empathy, you're looking for support, the words actually matter. It actually matters to have someone write to you, to have someone comment, to have someone share. When someone shares a story of some trouble she's gone through or a difficult time, I went through a divorce. I'm now handling single motherhood all alone. I don't know how to do it. Do you have any tips? There are so many thousands of women who actually share tips, who actually share support, who actually let her know that it's okay. You're not alone. This didn't happen just to you. This happens all over. It's okay. You're fine. You will be fine. And if you're not fine, I'm here. I've been there. I've done that. I've been through that. Let me help you out. So, social media is never Facebook or Instagram. Social media is the people behind those Facebook and Instagram accounts. Social media is you and me. So, whether you want to use social media or not is no longer a choice. You're there, you have to do it. But make sure you know how, why, where, and the best way to do it. I would like to have some questions from the audience who still love. Brilliant. So you're still awake. So if anyone has questions about social media, handling social media accounts, being an admin of a social media account, or anything that falls under that agenda, public speaking, storytelling, whatever it is, please feel free to ask me questions. Happy to answer. Is there anyone with some questions? Everyone's looking at everyone else. You have a question? No, no, no. You have a question? Come, let's go get back to our Instagram chats. That's more interesting than this.
Students can ask questions now.
Yes, please.
Have we talked about
No, sit, please. Sit.
You talked about the spread of positivity in social media, especially during the time of quarantine in Instagram. I also think in YouTube there was this series of glow up videos whereby people who have entered, who were in quarantine help themselves grow
Correct.
both physically and in other ways.
Correct.
So this it started with a good intention, but it turned out in such a way that it did not inspire other people, but rather depress other people because they could not achieve what they saw. That turned out to be very toxic. The trend turned out to be very toxic. So how can, rather than the people putting it forward, being responsible, is there any other way we as audience can manage the negativity coming from such?
Okay, that's a great question. Before I answer that, let me say when I announced my topic to those who were interested in hearing what the topic was, Everyone said, "You're going to say positive things about social media. What's wrong with you?" And to a bunch of teenagers, that's even worse. You're going to go tell them, go get social media accounts, be active on social media. None of their mothers are going to be happy with you. Social media, like I said, is there's a fine line between using it well and misusing it. Like she said, there was a trend where people started posting these videos. The trend started great, picked up speed. More and more people started posting their videos, and then came the downfall where it started impacting people. Why am I not able to do that? Okay, that happens not only for an Instagram video, it happens for a product you buy. She's posted on Insta about her new car. How lucky. I can't buy a car, I still go by bus. Or she's posted on Snapchat. I saw a picture of her drinking coffee at that fancy restaurant. I've never been there. Okay. Yes, social media can push negativity into your face. Into your face. It can bring you unwanted news. It can show you that maybe you're not as great as you think you are, right? But on the flip side of that, let me assure you that all the couples who have pictures hugging each other on social media are not always doing that at home. Trust me. All the children who are reciting poems and dancing away to all those million TikTok videos won't eat food or cry to go to bed. That happens too. But I wouldn't post that on social media. If my child threw a fit or my husband was angry, I wouldn't type, look at my husband's face, he's very angry with me right now. No, I'll wait till he becomes nice and calm, then put my hand around him and say, look at us, we're such a happy couple. That's not the truth. Okay? So, social media shows you a lot of what I want you to believe. I want you to believe I'm happy, I'm rich, I'm whatever it may be. I want you to believe I'm very confident about making the speech when I'm actually shaking right here. So, social media shows you what I want you to believe. When you use social media, make sure you do not believe everything that comes there. When I was looking through some quotes, there was a picture of Abraham Lincoln, and under that was the quote. So I'm looking for quotes. And the quote says, if you do not believe everything you see on social media, if there's a picture and a quote next to it by Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln never said that. But if I was to believe social media, I'm sure I'd be writing that down. Abraham Lincoln said, do not believe social media. So, yes, take the positivity with a pinch, take the negativity with a pinch. Do not let social media become personal. Social media is social. Let it remain social. Yes, show off your brilliant moments, show off your highlights, write about struggles that you have faced. All that is good, but do not let it affect your mental health beyond a point. Do not take it that seriously. It's social media. Imagine you're watching a movie, okay, and in the movie somebody kills somebody and you have actors flying through the sky. You wouldn't expect that to happen in real life. You're not going to come back and say, wish I could fly like him, if only I could do that. That doesn't happen. Social media can be as fictionalized as a book or as a movie. So please do not believe everything you see on social media. Do not let it affect your mental health so much so that you get depressed or you feel sad that you don't have it. Okay. The minute you find social media is getting toxic, cut off. Take a break. Okay. As an admin to a group, I am answering questions, posting, approving posts. I approve more than 50 posts a day. I decline more than 75 posts a day. It happens from morning to night. But there are times when I get negativity. There are times when there are tough things happening. I take a break. I switch it off. I switch it off. I remind myself that this is not all true. I switch it off, distance myself, and then decide whether I want to come back or not. Okay, so if ever you find yourself being influenced to a power of feeling sad or feeling upset, distance yourself from that social media, take a break, give yourself a mental health break before you come back, before you let it affect your mental health. Anyone else?
Having said that, I myself am there in Trivandrum. I've had a lot of help from that group, house hunting. I once put a word of appreciation because I thought people wrote such amazing language in that group, sensible comments and things like that. So, the positive side, I'm a benefactor, a beneficiary of that group. Really wonderful to do this.
Thank you.
I needed help with this and that. I thought it took a long time for probably I thought like that, but immediately just you get it and you accept it. So I got all the help that I needed. It's a very safe. I don't know how you keep reading in and reading out people. They put in fake profile problems and things
Right.
like that. So give us an insight on that. That how can you catch up with that? This kind of mass movement of people in and out of the group.
Once the group started growing beyond a certain point, initially I used to physically check everybody's profile to see if they have mutual friends, to see if they look suspicious. But after a point, that's not possible. So right now we have a rule where you can only join the group if someone who is a member adds you onto the group. Okay, so they stand responsible for you, and at any point I can open that and see who added you onto the group. So if there is something wrong, something fishy, I know exactly who added you and I go back to them. Having said that, I do get many friendship requests, fake profiles, lots of love from all over the world. But yeah, I'm trying to push it away. Anything else?
This is not a question now, though. There is this way of people receiving information from videos. For example, there was a reel 2 weeks ago. It was a prank. It was posted on a prank account. Basically, a woman is sitting alone and eating something. She's getting something from Starbucks or something. So a man comes by and asks her, "Are you single?" And she says, "Yes." And he takes away the chair next to it and says, "Okay, thank you," and keeps it aside. So it can be funny to an audience, but we never know what is happening to our past. For example, if the said woman was not in a good state of mind, if she were already at a breaking point, that would impact her. So there are a lot of couples saying talking about this perspective, that is, we have no idea what another person is going through. So this can't exactly be taken as a joke. This cannot be appreciated as a prank. There were literal slurs under comments. So there's this very different way of people receiving information that is given in social media.
Correct. So, like I said, one of the points of my group was to keep that out. Okay, to keep that out. On her Trivandrum, if you have a problem or if you have a query, okay. For example, there was another Facebook group where a mother, single working mother, was finding it difficult to teach her child because she'd come home really late at night and the child was 2 or 3 LKG, UKG, and she didn't get the time. The child was sleepy by the time she got home. It was a practical problem of not being able to teach the child. So she posted, "Can somebody help me find a tutor for my child?" And the comments that came, "You want a tuition teacher for an LKG child? What are you doing? Why can't you teach them? What work do you have? Quit your job, stay at home." Advice is free. Anyone will give it to you. Whether they know what they're talking about, they don't know what they're talking about. Said people might not have children, might not know how to teach, and might be sending their own children to a tuition teacher. But the advice comes promptly. So, social media, negativity can come. I'm hoping to keep that out with this group so far. Yes, there have been one or two bad instances, but it's very difficult to weed out the bad unless you're actually physically sitting and deleting negative comments, which is not practical when the number increases. Anyone else?
Ma'am, what's your opinion on cancel culture?
What
Cancel culture, that's a
What's my opinion? Okay, I guess I'll have to take that off record and give you my opinion on cancel culture. We will do that off the record. Right now, I'm a responsible adult, but we will do that off the record. Okay, now everyone else is agreeing with my daughter. Time to stop. Let's finish. Doesn't she have to go home for lunch? I'm hungry. No? Anyone with any other questions? Like I said, the purview of social media, the purview, I train students for public speaking, I train adults. I do storytelling for adults and children. I do performances. So it doesn't matter to me which area you're asking about. If you have any doubts, feel free to. Otherwise, I will spare you this punishment and send you all off.
Any more questions? You had an interesting session, isn't it? Yes, ma'am. That's nice. So who will propose a vote of thanks? Yes, please.
Yeah, I can. Hi, Sonia. Thank you, Sonia. Sonia is a integral part of my group. Lots of support always, Dr. Sonia. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for this active and insightful session. We thoroughly enjoyed it. Now we have the PRCI anthem play. Ms. Vani UK to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected Principal, Dr. Ishmael Prasad, and Chief Guest, Ms. Anjali Manoj, National President of PRCI YCC, Dr. T. Vinay Kumar, National Secretary General, Mr. USP, PRCI YCC Head, Mr. Ram Singh Menon, PRCI National Treasurer, Mr. Nanish PK, our HOD, Dr. Sonia Ji Nair, Faculty Coordinator, Dr. Ashri MS, and all the participants. Good afternoon, everyone. It is indeed an honor to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. On behalf of All Saints College Trivandrum, I extend a warm gratitude to the people who have joined us today. I extend my deepest gratitude to our chief guest, Ms. Anjali Manoj. Thank you for making us extraordinary in building public as well as student relations. It indeed was an enlightening session. Thank you so much, ma'am. I thank our dear Reverend Mother Mary Francis, our manager and director, Sir Narendra Pereira, for supporting all our efforts. I now extend my deepest gratitude to our respected principal, Dr. Ishmael Prasad, for being our continuous strength and encouraging us in all our efforts. Thank you, ma'am. I now thank Dr. T. Vinay Kumar for his warm presence. I now deeply thank Mr. U.S. Cookie for spending time with us. Thank you, sir. A warm regards and thanks to Mr. Ram Singh for his vibrant presence throughout this event. Now, I would like to thank Ms. Nanish PK for his presence as well. Thank you, sir. Now, I wholeheartedly thank our dearest HOD, Dr. Sonia Ji Nair, for being with us and for supporting us to the board. Thank you so much, ma'am. I express my hearty thanks to our faculty coordinator, Dr. Ashri MS, without whom our efforts would not have been a success. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I thank all our fellow members from the bottom of my heart who put in the greatest effort to make this event successful. Last but not least, I sincerely thank all the teachers, students, and all of you who have ensured an active participation throughout this event. Once again, I thank each and everyone who is present here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vani. The issues have been resolved. Let's hear the PRCI national anthem. Sorry, anthem.
Thank you for being a great audience. Remember, in social media, it's all about like, share, love, comment. Thank you.
The program has come to an end. On behalf of Young Communicators from Boston College, I thank each and every one of you for the great participation and enthusiasm. Hope we get to organize more informative sessions in the future.